Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Business Talk segment here on TMM Appliance Network. Today, I wanted to discuss lead generation services and the value or lack of value in those services, what they can offer, what they can't offer. Is your money better spent elsewhere? Things like that. We've heard a lot about lead generation services recently, and they definitely play a part, and they can be beneficial. But I wanted to give an alternative perspective on lead generation services, so it makes it a little bit easier for everybody to weigh out what works best for their business. So what is a lead generation service? Lead generation service is a business you will sign up for, and they will send you leads. Now, there's usually two ways that this works. Number one, the first type is you'll sign up and you'll pay a fee for each lead that they send you. In a lot of cases, those leads are sent to multiple companies, and whoever gets to the customer first or offers the customer the best price or whatever is the person who gets the customer. In this case, you end up paying a lot of money for jobs you may not even actually book. So that's the first type of lead generation service. The other type, they may not call themselves lead generation services. I would have to go back and see what terminology they use. But what they will do is sell you a booked job. So a customer will get in touch with them. They will book the job, and they will send you that. And that's a guaranteed job. Typically, you'll pay a little bit more money for that type of lead versus one where you have to compete with other companies. So if it's exclusive, it's a better deal. But a couple of things you have to ask about this is, how much does this cost? How much am I going to spend on it? Am I going to make money on it? Am I going to keep that customer? Where are they getting these leads from? So what I want to talk about is the type that will get you a booked job. A couple of things about that. So let's say they're charging you $50 for a booked job, which is it's a little high for acquisition of a new customer, but it's not totally unreasonable. Okay, so let's say they're sending you 4 booked jobs a day, right? So you're spending $50 per job times 4 a day. That's $200. So you're doing that 5 days a week. That's $1,000 a week you're spending on jobs. Now, these are guaranteed jobs that you're going to get. And then let's say you do that for 50 weeks because you took 2 weeks of vacation off. Now you've paid $50,000 for that year's worth of work that they've sent you. Say on average you're making $200 gross profit per job. You may be higher, you may be lower, but let's use that number because it seems to fit a lot of companies. And you're doing four of those jobs a week or a day, right? And then 5 days a week at 50 weeks. So that's $200,000 in income, right? In revenue, I should say. And if you take out that $50,000, that leaves you $150,000 gross profit. Now that you have to pay all your other expenses. That sounds, that's great, right? And you don't have to worry about SEO, and you don't have to worry about marketing or any of that. But the question I want people to ask about this before you go into it is, what if I spent $50,000 a year on SEO and marketing for my website? How would that benefit me? Would that be a better long-term fit? Because now what happens, you're used to this 4 jobs a day coming from this booked company, and you decide you don't want to do it anymore. Done. All of that volume disappears, and you've spent that money, and hopefully you've retained some of those customers who will contact you directly now, but maybe you didn't. If you invest that $50,000 in using a reputable SEO company to build up the SEO on your website, now you're going to get jobs coming in, and it's not going to cost you anywhere near $50,000 a year. A really, really good company is probably going to charge you around $1,500 to $2,500 a month for excellent SEO, along with some other things they'll package in, like managing your Google Maps listing and things like that. So you'll spend about half of the money by contracting with an SEO company, and this will build up your business online long term. and it's not going to go away. Now, obviously, you have to maintain that SEO, and it's constantly changing, but you'll spend half the money and you'll get a long-term goal, and those customers will be contacting you directly. You won't have to pay anyone else. The next question is on a lead generation service, where are they getting those leads from, right? So if you Google appliance repair in pretty much any major city or major metro area, you'll most likely find a whole bunch of listings that are not actual, Google listings, I should say, that are not actual companies that have a presence in your area. This is most noticeable when they will use a unit. So they'll use an address and a unit location or unit number. And if you go and look at that address, there's not actually a business there. This is against Google's terms of service. Somehow, a lot of these listings make it through and they stay on Google. How that gets done, I don't know. But what's essentially happening is if you're paying for those leads from a lead generation service, you are paying somebody that is competing with you for marketing in your own area with your own customers. So these companies that do lead generation, they're very good at SEO and marketing. That's what they do. That's literally what they do. That is their job. So now you're paying them to have customers contact them, and then they sell you back that customer. So the flip side of that would be, well, what if you just invest in your own SEO for your own website and pay half of what it would cost you to get a lot more than 4 jobs a day? And now you're not competing with yourself. Same goes for Yelp or any company that you're paying to get your name out there. That's a third party. You're essentially competing with yourself for SEO because Yelp and a large lead generation company are going to outmarket you money-wise. They have more money, so they can do that. So now you're paying them. They're putting their name out there first and then selling it back to you, and that is driving down your results for your SEO or your Google listing unless your SEO is really strong. So what it boils down to is you have to ask yourself if a lead generation service is a good value for where you are in your business. Now, maybe just getting started out, it's a quick and easy way to get a lot of work, and that's great. I mean, that really works well for a lot of people. But I just think it's important that it's weighed out and both sides are considered, especially taking into account where you are in your business and whether or not this is something you want to continue long term, because the balance here is paying lead generation services quick and easy, but there's no long-term effect. So if you're trying to build a business going forward, you're not adding any value to your own business by paying a lead generation service. If you take that money and invest it in your SEO, the results will take quite a long time to show up, but you're building a long-term presence on the internet so that you don't have to pay someone else to get those customers, because those customers will find you and your results may come up above the results of the lead generation service. So it's just a couple of points on that, something I've been thinking about for a little while. So to recap, lead generation services definitely have their value. They work very well for people who are just getting started. But in the long term, I don't think they're beneficial. And my opinion is that you would be better off investing that money in yourself for a better long-term result. So just maybe ask, when does something that's quick and easy ultimately give you a positive long-term effect, right? Things that are worth doing are usually difficult. It's an old saying, right? And I think it holds true. So if you're using a lead generation service and it's working for you, excellent. But just think a little bit more long-term and plan and think about whether or not that's something that's going to continue working for you going forward, and if maybe you could divert some of that money towards building your own presence so you're not reliant on a third party that is essentially competing with you for that top spot on Google. Okay, and I think that about covers it. So thank you for watching this segment of Business Talk. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Also, check out tmmacademics.com to see what we have coming up as far as business training and technical training. And thank you for watching.